Paul Watson's on to something, and I don't want to say he invented this idea. I want to give him credit for everything, but the point is it's something we all know, but it's something we kind of pass over and don't focus on. And if we focus on this, we're going to win. If we focus on this, we're going to take over and defeat the globalists. It's already happened, but they are looking at their equations and thinking that they can try to put the genie back in the bottle. So I'm going to play some important clips and get into that here in just a moment. I'm not out to get Priebus, but I know for a fact he's sabotaging the president's agenda. He thinks he knows best. He's listening to Paul Ryan, and they are trying to undermine the Trump administration and leaking information to try to tie Trump's inner circle to the Russians, and I'm not going to put up with it. So understand something, Rich Priebus. You think you're powerful up there, and you're playing all sorts of games behind the scenes, and you think you're going to run over InfoWars, and you think you're going to run over the Republic. It's not happening, brother. So you better get with the program real quick and stop leaking, or the grassroots is going to make sure you are destroyed politically. In fact, the information, the type of stuff I've got is just too dangerous to even hold on to. I think I'm just going to have to put this out tomorrow. Yeah, you're not going to listen. You're too arrogant. John McCain and that weasel, Paul Ryan, and all of you, and Lindsey Graham. What a group of compromised dirtbags. And Maxine Waters is running around calling Trump incompetent and all sorts of names. This is a woman that thinks Russia invaded Korea last week. This is a woman who doesn't even know what Aleppo is. I mean, just look at her. She looks like a cartoon character with more like sycophantic nobody anchors who never did anything in their lives but sit there and read off teleprompters and giggle and cackle and laugh at people that are only trying to save the country, you moron. Donald Trump's talking to major factories all over the country, and suddenly in Detroit and all over, everybody from the Nation of Islam to you name it are going, we like Donald Trump because they're already starting factories, and they're already saying, if you're black, come in here and apply. You're going to get the job. That's not handouts. That's a living. That's a life. That's a piece of this dirt. And if you don't start giving us some of it, we're going to burn this sucker down, to quote Louis Farrakhan. And you know what? At a human level, I get that. Farrakhan's not asking for handouts. I don't agree with everything Farrakhan said. The point is he said, we want some of this dirt. We want some of this wealth. We're going to burn this sucker down. Not, oh, if you don't, get rid of yourselves and hate your family and pull down your culture, we're going to burn it down because George Soros said so. If you don't give us globalism that rips us off, we're going to burn stuff down. That's a bunch of idiots working for him. No, Farrakhan says, you give us jobs, you bring the prosperity back, and you get rid of all this welfare system that enslaved us on purpose, or we're going to burn this sucker down. You turn off the eugenics, you turn off the abortion factories, or we're going to burn this sucker down. That's somebody that at least recognizes how they're under attack. Trump comes in and says, we'll fix this problem. You want to work, you're going to get the jobs. And their system is destroy Trump, stop Trump at any cost. And the establishment Republicans are just in a wild frenzy to get rid of Trump. And I know Trump put them in there because they know how the system works to carry out his will, but they're not doing it. And now the State Department is in open mutiny against the president. Openly pushing the Russian narrative, openly saying they're trying to overthrow his allies that are about to get elected in France. Nationalist, pro-gun, pro-farmer, anti-Islamic takeover. Like a breath of fresh air. Nationalist movements in Germany, the Russians did it. Nationalist movements in Italy, the Russians did it. Every country that gets a vote is pulling out of globalism, and they go, the Russians, the Russians, the Russians. Man, the Russians are magical. If I need help, changing a flat tire, I'm going to call the Russians. They're saying you're a bunch of buffoons because only Putin could come up with drain the swamp or crooked Hillary. And if you're Maxine Waters, that makes sense. She couldn't come up with drain the swamp or crooked Hillary, a slogan. She thinks it's fancy to go racist KKK, go away, misogynist, homophobe, Islamophobe. That's all the Democrats are so stupid, whether it's Nancy Pelosi or Maxine Waters, given everything they got, hundreds of millions of dollars, totally rich, living off our backs, and then they think Russia invaded Korea. In fact, since I mentioned it, let's play her saying Trump is incompetent and Trump is bad. Talk about projection. Here it is.
What do you think?
Well, nobody takes him seriously anyway. As a matter of fact, Saturday Night Live really did portray him just about as he is. I mean, he is an embarrassment even to Trump. And so I don't know how long he's going to last, but let's have fun with him while he's there. Okay.
Now, that's a clip of her talking about Spicer. I saw the long run when she goes into Trump as well and says the same stuff. But again, this is just the Democrats at one press conference. Here it is.
This is a island that at its widest level is, what, 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level, or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
My fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
I stand here as a freed slave.
We've seen nothing that we can work, that I can work with President Bush on, and I'm disappointed because I thought that there might be some interest because of what he said in the campaign.
What are we going to do? How can a president who is acting in the manner that he's acting, whether he's talking about the travel ban, the way that he's targeting Muslims, or whether he's talking about his relationship to Putin and the Kremlin, and knowing that they have hacked our DCCC and DNC, and knowing that he is responsible for supplying the bombs that killed innocent children and families in
what is Aleppo?
Yeah, in Aleppo.
You are correct. Way to go.
The fact that he is wrapping his arms around Putin while Putin is continuing to advance into Korea.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
Stop it. We should just have the whole show for 4 hours. Be bong, bong, bing, bing, bong, bing, bing. So soothing. Look, the only threats Trump has is assassination, illness, or the Republican Party sabotaging him from within. He's the commander-in-chief. He's in charge, the military, the police, the American people are behind him. His approval ratings are going up and up and up the more he stomps them. He calls CNN fake news and liars, he goes up 5 points. He tries to work with them, he goes down 5 points. And Priebus cannot help it. He is a sycophant. He is a little gremlin that sits there and grovels to powerful people. And he cannot help but serve Paul Ryan and others that are openly at war with Trump. And they're lying to the president when they say they're going to work with him. Everything they do is to sabotage the president. I've got hundreds of stories here that are important, but I have to keep going back to this. I've known for over 2 weeks from multiple sources, a bunch of them, that Trump is starting to look at throwing Priebus out the window politically. And I think it'll send a good message to all the other neocons and rhinos that, listen, you've already gotten your ass whooped up and down the street in the primaries, the election, everywhere else. We just stomped Hillary and Soros into a pile of garbage. You better get out of the way. Do you understand? I'm not doing this radio broadcast to play games, folks, or act like I'm Mr. Tough Guy. I am committed, and I've sworn on the altar of God to take these people on. And this audience is the liberty movement, and you are the power. And make no mistake, they tried to steal that election, but you overpowered them. So you look in the mirror and you realize you are the resistance. It isn't about patting ourselves on the back. It's about understanding that these enemies aren't going to stop until they've defeated us. And they say we're all Russian agents because we don't want to have war with Russia for no reason. And there's a new realignment globally that makes sense happening that the military's advised to Trump. And so they want to get rid of Flynn and others because they are geopolitically aware and know who the real threats are. Russia's not a threat. You leave them alone in their sphere, they got their own problems, and the United States can move in there strategically with all the resources Russia has, and the Russians can make money, and we can make money, and we can build a new civilization out of it. The globalists want this. Russia probably has more resources than Africa, folks, the continent of Africa. Okay, we want in there. We want those resources, and we can dominate the globe with Russia. The United States and Russia team up. It's over. That's why the globalists for 100 years have been trying to have us at war with Russia. That's why the globalists went and put the dirty commies in there. New York City and London, brokerage houses, Goldman Sachs was involved funding 100,000 Russian immigrants to be sent back. This is history for the Bolshevik Revolution. We did that to them. That's why when William Crystal's dad came back to the United States, he was just coming back home where he was from to begin with. The neocons, you know, the Trotskyites. And of course, they got double-crossed by Stalin. That's why the Russians loved Stalin. He was a horrible tyrant, but he actually kicked out the people that had taken over Russia from 1917 up until before World War II, when Lenin died of poisoning. Oh, he died of natural causes, yeah, and so did the Easter Bunny. So did JFK. But this is the real history. And see, people don't even know this. People don't even know this. There is a persecution of Christians going on by very anti-God, atheistic people that persecute Orthodox groups all over the world. Look at what Hollywood's been caught doing in Israel. Look at what Hollywood's been caught doing in the WikiLeaks from Soros. He wants to overthrow Israel, and he wants to target Orthodox Jews and Christians. And he's Jewish because they hate God, folks. People say, oh, look at you. People always accuse me of being this Israel worshiper, some agent of Israel. And I saw Israel pushing wars with Iraq and stuff and thought that was wrong because Iraq was a secular country and had been previously put in power by the CIA under an Eisenhower initiative that didn't happen until 1979, and it was actually a stabilizing effect. And I'm not even agreeing with the policy of interventionism, but that's what happened. It was a good policy compared to, you know, the one of Arab Spring, total hell on earth. But I don't want to blow up Israel or hate Jews, and I won't get into the weird racist religion of just hating Jews because they're Jews. And people always like, it's like their royal card. They go, you're Goldman Sachs, because Trump's put some Goldman Sachs people in. When Goldman Sachs gave zero of the money to Trump, all of it to Hillary. And their whole agenda is being destroyed. Trump is now getting Goldman Sachs to do what he wants. It's incredible. Yeah, there's Forbes. Trump has Goldman Sachs rethinking Russia. This is very sophisticated what's happening. And they also have this other Trump card. They go, oh, really? You love Israel. No one supports Israel more than Alex Jones. And it kind of got me in the position of going, okay, fine, I do. I mean, okay, I worship Israel. All I want to do. I've never been to Israel. Be brilliant. It's historical. I do want to go there sometime. I mean, is that why I've had the Israel lobby constantly try to get me off the air? Is that why I've had the leftist Israel lobby try to, you know, restrict the Second Amendment? I mean, that's ridiculous. Israel is a complex group and a complex system, and complex things are happening there. But people that sit there as pseudo-intellectuals, they don't really want to save the country. They want to just say they're better than everybody and be lazy loser failures. That's who they are, fundamentally. And so they don't want to actually save the country. They don't actually, you know, want to stop war. They just want to shoot their mouths off and say, oh, we're Goldman Sachs, or oh, we're Israel. It's ridiculous. As if Goldman Sachs is just one thing or Israel's just one thing, like set pieces in a Monopoly game. It's 1,000 times more sophisticated than that. Why would the Israel lobby, the liberal Israel lobby, be after Alex Jones and the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ADL constantly when I'm not anti-Semitic and never did that? Because they know I'm good. They know, they're just like any political group, complex group. They want power over America. They want the levers of control, just like any other special interest. And I'm trying to get the levers back to the people. I want Americana. I want lower taxes. I want to devolve power from D.C. to the people. So every major lobby hates Alex Jones, from the big banks to the big healthcare groups to the MSM to the liberal Israel lobby, not because any of them are even particularly evil incarnate. There's evil people involved, but because they want to run the show. They don't want to go build something themselves. They want to get control of the most powerful country in the world and parlay its influence into their dominance. Just like the racist Hispanic lobby they've set up, or the racist white lobby, or all the other lobbies. They want to get us into groups instead of having us all together on the idea of competition and open free markets and private property and God, guns, and guts, if you want to be part of that. And that's so avant-garde, that's so sexy, that's so historical, that's so cool, that's so cutting edge, that's so tip of the spear that everyone will join it if they ever have a chance to see what it is. Because it's a spirit of innovation and trailblazing and of Lewis and Clark. It's rugged individualism. It's men are men, women are women. We're strong. We strive to be strong. Instead, they say just be weak and get into how you're weak and get into how you're a victim and get into how you're some pathetic group. I'm not here to lead the victim group of conservatives and libertarians that want to bitch all day and be failures. I'm here to take the government back, restore the republic, and run over the tyrants and teach them a good lesson for 1,000 years. I'm here to pour my energy and my soul into the restoration of the republic. Because I'll tell you, I'm a selfish person. That's a sexy system created by God. That's a beautiful thing. That's human. That's where all my ancestors are at. You couldn't drag me away. I'm no hero. Good Lord. Tying into God and all this power? And you don't even want the power for the power. It's being in the presence of the power. Good Lord, no wonder they don't ever want you to experience this. Because you ever experience this, there's nothing on earth they can even offer you to want to sell that out. Skip the break. I may just do my whole new show with no ads. I'm serious. But then they tell me I got to do ads. I haven't even gotten into all the media attack pieces. I said I'll give you the big enchilada here in a minute, and I am. It's this. They're not the counterculture. The left had all its power because it was able to organize itself, demonize true Americana, act like that was somehow some horrible, evil, old-fashioned thing, and get the youth and everybody to think they were part of the winning, cool team, and get the CIA and everybody else to think they were part of this new sexy operation, and to make the media sit there and tell them, oh, look, you're part of the winning team as you're being screwed over. And now everybody realizes true Americana is always the most cutting-edge thing there is. That's where everybody wanted to come here. And so that fire didn't get fully extinguished, and now there's like 100-mile-an-hour winds, and there's storms just burning everything up around us. The fires of liberty are burning the tyrants to death. They're running around like chickens with their heads cut off because they are in panicked retreat. And they are desperate, and in their flailing, everyone instinctively sees their weakness. But when you see the 20–30% that are still under their control, they are completely uncomfortable because it's their identity. They think they're the power structure, even though they're not part of it. And they sit around in fake little councils at church and at the little hamburger places and at the men's clubs and the women's, Rotary groups. And they sit around and Twitter and, and I don't mean literal twittering. I mean twittering, the old-fashioned twittering about and talking. And, oh, did you see Saturday Night Live? And, oh, did you see the New York Times? Oh, we're going to get him. Oh, he's failing. Oh, he's a loser. Oh, they're discredited. Oh, it's all falling apart. Oh, look, desperately trying to save the country, trying to save them, trying to give them what is the proven most successful system of pro-human development. And they're all running around just totally freaked out, because their subconscious realizes that they're posers. They're losers. I mean, I look at men that push the globalist agenda, and they are all, even if they're billionaires, they are just, their spirit is so fake, not manly, artificial, and just evil and creepy and not genuine. And I'm telling you, it's over. It may take 50 years, but I mean, the return of everything that makes us strong is here. And all the ancient rituals of Rites of passage are being rediscovered, even by the trendies right now. All the hottest thing with trendies. And it's funny, and people make fun of it. They'll have leftists go out with lumberjack outfits and cut trees. We know how to do it. And people that, you know, are lumberjacks make fun of it. And I say to them, listen, when you were a kid, you pretended you were a doctor or a policeman or a factory worker or a soldier before you were one. So the fact that we see the left now all trying to adopt honky-tonk, Western, rebel flags, it's not a racist thing. It's saying rebellion and, you know, gardening and hunting and all. They're trying to rediscover being humans. The DNA is re-expressing itself. It's happening. They didn't successfully repress it. Just like you try to poison crops of bugs, about the 3rd, 4th generation, it creates super bugs that are even bigger, stronger, meaner, and the poison don't kill them no more. I think some of the most shriveled, almost soulless people, once they activate, are going to come out of their shell and end up being 10 times stronger than people like me that they never got control of. And I'm not anything special. But, I mean, I'm alive. I'm kicking, I'm snapping, I'm fighting, I'm loving. And if you ain't loving, you ain't loving, to quote George Strait. And they've stopped everyone having rites of passage. They've put everybody in arrested development, told them you're cool, you're trendy because you watch these stupid, boring TV shows with these horrible music that's meant to be horrible to lower your soul, to lower your instincts. All of this is an attempt to make humanity surrender. And you know what? Donald Trump ain't perfect, big old golden toad that he is. But you know what? That's a big old man right there that wants to show all the scum that, you know what, the days of the vampire just came to a halt, at least for this season. And that's why the vampires are scared, because the sun's coming up. And anybody that's anybody smells it, sees it, and tastes it, and knows it. So you have all your uncool trendies and down your nose pseudo-intellectuals, all beta males to make other men think it's okay to be a beta male. You sit there and try to force feed everybody this delusion, but you're scared. That's why when I go out in public in liberal areas, they giggle, they laugh, they point, and I look at them and I smile at them because I'm not making fun of them. I just look at them like, I see you, and they always look down and start shaking their head like, really? Yeah, because I don't give a you-know-what about what you think about me, boy, because I'm not a boy. I'm a man. You understand that? What I believe is, because it's in my genetics and in my spirit and in common sense, I know I care about you. And I don't want to run your life, tell you how to speak, tell you what to listen to, tell you what to do, like you want to tell me. See, you're a beta male wanting to conquer real men so you feel big, because having us around makes you feel bad, doesn't it, George Soros and your little son and all the rest of you? You're scum. Real men don't go around dominating innocent people and turning them into zombies. Real men are ready to compete and turn the human species loose, because we're made in the image of the Creator that made all this. And God's got big plans for us. But you don't get stuff for free, do you? There's no free lunches in this universe. Nobody rides for free. So you're in your 6-week, 10-week, 12-week boot camp right now, and every culture knows it, and every group knows it, and this is all the big test. It's written on our genetics. We know it. The dimensions have been proven. The spirit has been proven. It has been registered. It has been quantified. It is the essence. And we go on through our DNA. We live on through our children. Everything is a repeat, but an augmented system into the future. And so their best attempts to poison us were their devilish delusion to only put the pressure on humanity to make us metamorphosize into the next level. And that's the big rest of the story. Briefly, see any more of the Super Blue? I guess I took it home. Super Blue toothpaste is what's funding our operation right now. It's our new super mega hit. I ordered double what we got in the first shipment, fluoride-free with colloidal silver and iodine. Nascent iodine. It's amazing. People love it. 5-star reviews. It's going to sell out in the next week and a half or so. And we got bubblegum flavor coming in for the kids. It doesn't have the tea tree oil or the peppermint because it's so strong. We've had a request from people for a little bit lighter formula for the kids. It is strong. And it's concentrated. So it's at InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. And everything I sell or promote, water filters so you're not getting hit with the fluoride and glyphosate, fluoride-free toothpaste. It's everything I want, everything I use, everything I do. Nobody's got one with colloidal silver and iodine. We made one with the biggest company out there. Had it private labeled. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. That's 888-253-3139. Now, we also have a lot of other great products at InfoWarsStore.com. So be sure and check that out today. I mean, one of these T-shirts that I designed is really simple, but it's my favorite. I mean, it just says InfoWars.com on the front, on the right, on the heart, on the left side, and then it's got an arm deal. It's got George Washington, and then on the back it says, "My free speech doesn't end when you get offended." That shirt needs to be absolutely a bestseller. We'll be back with hour number 3. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, "See, I told you so," that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live, available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You gonna sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you gonna be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action.